Hello, in this video we are going to create stylized water shader with Unity shader graph. If you follow this tutorial, you can get material like this. It has parallax effect, some movement animation, and a little bit of depth falloff. We also do provide you with source files. You can follow the link in the description. So let's get started. The first thing we need is to create some environment to test our water on. I am using one of our platformers pack, but you can use some other scene as well. I will create a Unity plane here and expand it so that it covers everything in our view. Then I will create Untitled shader graph. Then I need to create a material and assign it to the plane. Now let's double click on the shader graph and open shader graph window. Let's make sure everything works fine and set color of the output to white. You can see it works fine, so let's continue. Our first task is to create this nice caustic foam effect on the surface. For this I'm using a texture that I pre-downloaded. So first of all, let's create some properties. I want to control color of the water and color of foam. We need to sample a texture and let's set the texture output to the color. Now texture appears on the plane, but it's really big, and if we scale the plane, the texture scale is also changing. We want to attach this texture scale to world coordinates. For this we need to sample in world space SD coordinates. We just need to pick up X and Z values of the world space coordinates and use them as a UV. Now you can see that it's really repetitive, but as we scale the object, the scale of the texture doesn't change. But anyway, we still need some modifiers to change the scale and offset texture a little bit. Let's add node tiling and offset. And I also created a new variable with postfix st, which will control these values. X and Y will be controlling tiling, and Z and W will control offset. We can also set some default parameters there, but it's not necessary. Now we go to editor and change values a little bit, and you see that we can actually scale this texture and it works really nice. Let's now use it as a mask to blend two colors. I don't want different RGB masks, so I just need a single mask. So I will just add 3 components and divide them by 3 to get some kind of average brightness between main color and foam color. The result is used as output color. Now when we go to editor, you can see I can change different colors and they blend with this shape of this mask. But right now our water is kinda static. We want to add some more movement. Let's change our offset values to speed values. It's really easy to do this. We just need to multiply the value by time. And now when I change offset, my shader is scrolling the texture. But it still not looks like a liquid. So we want to do something a little bit better. For this we need to make a second sample and scroll it in the opposite direction. I will just inverse the tiling to change the direction and the scale. If you will preserve existing tiling and only change offset, you will get an image that at some point will look exactly the same as your original image, and that will create a bad effect. So that's really important. Now we sample the texture twice. Let's take both values and take the minimum of them. We also might want to adjust our colors a little bit, so we will make a multiply by specific values that we will set in the editor, and we need to clump it between 0 and 1. You can see now there is some kind of movement. It looks more like caustics effect. That's all for our foam mask. To not get lost in our shader, I will create group selection nodes to make selection a little bit easier, and also to make a small sign what the part of the shader is doing. Let's move to our next effect, which is parallax effect. I don't really know why people call it parallax, maybe to look smart, but generally it's just a simple ray plane intersection. Let's take a look at simple equation. There are 3 main points there. We have a ray origin, we have ray direction, and the point where we intersect the plane. We don't know only the point where we intersect the plane. But hopefully we know that we have a parameter that will set a certain depth of this parallax plane, and we basically know the y coordinate where we intersect this plane. So let's modify our equation a little bit. In shader, firstly we need to compute this k value, And then we will use it to compute x and z coordinates of the point where we intersect the plane. That's it. Let's go to shader graph and implement this. Our origin of the ray will be positioned on the geometry where the certain pixel exists on our water surface. As a direction of the ray, we will use inverted view direction, and as a result we want to get just vector 2 containing x and z value, because we will just use these coordinates to sample texture. You can see that I'm actually implementing the same formula that I shown before. We also need to make sure that we are not dividing by 0, because that will produce some infinitely big result or some weird arrow, basically maybe an n, depending on your GPU architecture. Let's simply avoid this case. Formulas for x component of the vector and z component of the vector are identical. The only difference is that we use x and z values of ray origin and ray direction respectively. I will also modify tiling and offset values by other variable. That will make it a lot easier to control. And then we'll repeat the same process with mask that we did before. I will add 3 channels and divide them by 3 to get a single value. We need to create a lerp node and lerp between main color and parallax color, and then use the result as an input for a second lerp with form. When we go to the editor, you can see that it's already working. We see the parallax effect, and if we put our camera lower than plane, this plane actually doesn't exist, so it's fully virtual. We just described it mathematically. Let's also add some fancy animations there. I will repeat the same process as with form mask. We will scroll another texture in the opposite direction, but instead of blending them with minimum function, this time I will multiply them. You could probably use different types of blending to masks. You can just adjust 2 of them and then saturate them. You can multiply them, you can lerp them, you can do all sorts of math operations here. But this one is looking the best in my opinion for this specific case. And I will also change contrast a little bit with multiplication and then saturation. Now when we go to the editor, you can see that some animation already exists there, and if I adjust intensity quite a bit, we can see that it's really nice. It looks like some fluid. That's really great. You can notice a slight issue in our system. When we move our plane higher, the bottom stays on the same level. We want to avoid this. We just need to subtract y component of the position vector to fix it. Now we can place our plane as high as we want, and it won't change how our shader looks. The last but not least effect is the fall-off effect. Right now we have 2 planes, but when we look at some mesh that is a little bit covered under the water, it just disappears. It's not really beautiful because we have this second plane and we assume that there is some space between them, and we want to see some gradient falling off from the surface to the bottom. To make it, we need to use a depth texture. Make sure that it's enabled in the project settings. We are using URP, so you need to go to URP asset and check this tick. If it's not enabled, you need to enable it. It also is set to be generated after opaque objects, so we need to change our shader graph to transparent mode. Transparents are usually rendered after opaque objects. Now we can assess depth texture that we really need for fall-off effect. What we need to do is to just get a position that is lying behind the surface of our water and use its y component to detect how much of fall-off we want to see there. I will get screen position, pick x and y coordinates from there, and I will also pick a depth sample in raw mode so that it will represent the value of the screen coordinates. Then I will transform them to world space and take y component of the vector. Then again I need to subtract position of the object to make the offset correct when we are displacing the plane. Then I use smooth step node with 2 parameters. The first one is where the gradient should appear. It will start appear on the specific value that we are setting in the inspector. And the second value is the value where it disappears completely. And that's the depth of our bottom layer, the depth of our parallax effect. That will mean for us that we cannot set the fall-off effect greater than depth of parallax. Otherwise it will produce some incorrect results that are not beautiful. Then we take a maximum of this mask and masks with caustics animation and use it as a blend value in the second lerp. When you go to the editor, you can see that now this effect appeared on all of objects and it covers them down to the parallax plane. Now let's play around with some parameters. We can set up colors, intensities, animation settings. This set of parameters that I just presented on screen works the best for me, but you can make your own one. You can run the game and see how the shader acts in play mode. So that's it. We created a stylized water effect that you can use in your game. It works for Windows devices, for Android devices, so feel free to use it. If you want more new content on shader topics, then like this video and subscribe to our channel. Also, don't forget to check out the link in the description that leads to source files of this project. See you next time.